Welcome to the Hustle Baby Podcast, where I give entrepreneurs 15 minutes to show, grow, and let the world know about their small business. Today, I'll be flowing with Christine Dolan, a yoga instructor based here in Medfield, Massachusetts, known for her expertise in inside flow yoga, a style that integrates traditional yoga poses with music, creating a seamless and dynamic flow. Hey everyone, Evan Walsh here with the Hustle Baby Podcast, and today I am very lucky to have Christine Dolan, who's a Medfield resident here in town, and she has a great business called Flow Yoga. Is that right?
Flow with Christine. Yes, I am a yoga instructor, a mom here in Medfield of 3 kids, and now I am a yoga instructor, and I am here to offer it to everyone.
That's awesome. Why don't, just to kind of give people who may not know you in town, give us a little background on who you are, kind of, where you came from and that kind of stuff.
Okay. I was a stay-at-home mom for many years, still am officially. I still have 2 teenagers at home, one in college.
Yeah.
And in my course of getting into health and wellness and just attending gyms in the area, I went to yoga because I was told to, because I did everything else. But I was rolling up my mat before Shavasana, and I was thinking about my grocery list and everything else. So in this journey of life, I have refound yoga, and I made a phone call to Universal Power Yoga and Jen Palmer and changed my life.
Wow.
Jumped into 200-hour yoga, and I never looked back.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And it's really changed my life, and I'm trying to learn and grow and bring it to everyone that I can.
Yeah.
In the course of my 200-hour, I found a Instagram reel, amazing Instagram, and Dancing Becca, and I saw what she was doing, and it's called Inside Flow.
Yeah. And
I researched it, and I found it because I took one look, and I was like, I need to do that.
Yeah.
So I tracked her down. I went to a couple of classes, and decided I wanted to be trained in it. So before I actually, taught yoga, an actual yoga class, I got trained in Inside Flow, took off to Connecticut by myself, not knowing a soul, and said, I need to do this. And I haven't looked back on that either.
I find it, as someone who's not particularly engaged in yoga, obviously I know about it and whatnot. There are a lot of different styles of yoga that I'm learning.
So many.
Yeah, so Inside Flow is sort of what you specialize in.
Yes, is what I am specializing in, and it is to the beat of the music.
Oh.
So it is a little bit different. We do use yoga poses. It is officially yoga, but it's more about the transition than holding a pose.
Got it.
And say, for example, it's an 8 count. We've moved to the 8 count.
Yep.
So an inhale, which is usually an expansion in yoga, it would be the 1 through 4.
Sure.
And then on the exhale, the 5 through 8 would be the contraction.
Okay. So
that's how we kind of move. And it's more about the transition than, like I said, holding the poses.
It's kind of like dancing in slow motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's usually what we say in a class. It's like, well, not slow motion, but we call it like moving through honey.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're kind of moving through honey. And there's emotional ones. It's choreographed to a final song, kind of like you would a peak pose in yoga. And we break it down and we get you there. But at the end, everybody moves together in unison to this choreographed song, which always embodies, the movement embodies the music. Sometimes it's upbeat, it's party fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's melancholy, sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes it depends on and the whole class would be kind of the same.
Yeah.
Give you the same vibe. And when you all move together at the end of class in unison, it's what we like to call spanda, pulsation of life. And it's just connecting the music, the movement to yourself.
Yeah.
And it's something you have to experience.
Yeah, I think that sounds fascinating, really.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's huge in Europe and Asia. We are getting it here in the United States. It's moving slow, but it's coming. We've had the founder. I've done a training with the founder. Young Ho Kim is the founder. He's based in Germany, but it is spreading everywhere, and he's coming back again for another training in August.
Wow.
So if there's yoga instructors that are intrigued, we have a training coming up.
Yeah.
And everybody's online, and there's ways to find it, but I am bringing hopefully more workshops to the area
Yeah.
to start introducing it.
That's great. Are you sort of exclusive in terms of you're offering this to the area? Are there other flows around? Not that we're certainly not promoting them.
No. I have.
Is it sort of new and up and
It
coming?
is new and up and coming, but I do have friends and flow mates that we support all over Massachusetts.
Yeah.
That we're slowly just supporting each other. So
That's great.
I'm the kind of the one here, more in the Medfield area,
Yeah.
and just trying to bring it to this and the surrounding
Very
towns. And in the course of finding Rebecca and Inside Flow, I happened upon the next type of yoga that I'm also.
Oh.
I'm now on my 300 hour, and hopefully we'll be finish that soon.
Yeah.
But I have found chromatic yoga, which
Okay.
is what I'm offering for more of my one-on-one and small groups that I would like to do. It's more of a alignment biomechanic
Okay.
based yoga. We work with a through line. So if you went to a chromatic yoga class, you would be given an intention or a engagement or a muscle activation
Okay.
that we would keep consistently throughout the course of the class. And you would work towards a peak pose and towards that. But you would walk out learning something, for example, that you could take off your mat.
Okay.
Like if, say, in a class we were working on the internal rotation of your thigh bones. That helps when you bend over in what we call uttanasana, which is forward fold.
Sure.
But that can carry off the mat because it can be, when you're loading the dishwasher, loading the dryer. If you think about those things, eventually,
Yeah.
you're not probably going to walk out of a class and you hopefully will be
Right.
like, oh, if I do this, but eventually it becomes, when I do it now, I no longer have back pain because I
Really?
automatically my
Yeah.
body starts to move that way.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's where
Well,
the types of yoga that I focus on.
That's
but I
great.
do teach others. But.
And now you mentioned that it's choreographed, or
Inside
that the
flow.
movements are.
Yes,
Yeah. So
inside flow.
how does that work? Do you choreograph it, or is it already sort of like a choreographed routine?
That's a great
And that's sort of
question.
what you teach.
It is a already choreographed routine.
Yep.
The final to the final song.
Okay.
But I will take the choreographed song and movements, and I can change the leading up to how I get you to that point, how to teach you how to make those movements.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So you could do the same flow over and over again, but the class could be different leading up to
Understood.
it. I can choreograph my own flows to my own songs, but they have to be approved. I have yet to do one. So everything that I'm
I see.
teaching has been approved by a senior or pro
Yeah.
teacher. So I can't just go out and say, let's just make this up.
right,
I mean, I
sure.
can work towards getting one approved, which will be a goal someday. But for right
That's
now,
great. Oh, that's
right now
really cool.
It's now you'll see me driving in the car and I'm counting beats, and I'll hear and be at the grocery store at Roach Brothers and be like, oh, that's a good song for a flow.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, the best would be if you ever see me at Marshall's and I start doing weird moves. That's because there's a flow to it that I know.
That's great. All right, so I'm going to get into just a couple of questions.
Sure.
The whole goal of this, obviously, is to meet each other, help each other, and help other entrepreneurs and individuals that are in the area. And hopefully we can all, learn something from you and each other and
Yes.
kind of go from there. So,
Love that.
again, this is only my second time, so I'm still reading the questions, but
Okay.
in short order, they will be gone. But, all right, so sort of your origin story. What inspired you to start your business, and what was the biggest challenge that you overcame in the beginning?
Ooh, well, what inspired me is my love for what I was learning or what I am learning, because I am a teacher, but I will forever be a student. And my biggest challenge is getting over my own fears.
Okay.
I was in my 200-hour program, and I realized I am a yoga instructor who is deathly afraid of public speaking.
Oh,
So just to be on this right now
Sure.
is huge for me. But it just shows that, if you want something, you believe in something enough, you can keep working.
Yeah.
Inside Flow is my kind of challenge right now, just because it's getting the word out there.
Yeah.
But, that's why I'm here. Is
That's
to
awesome.
help spread it.
all right. So this would be sort of your industry insider insight. What is one misconception people have about your industry, and what is the reality?
Oh, this is a good one. Well, one thing I find is that everybody says to me, "Oh, I would love to do that, but I can't," or "Oh, I'm too old," or "Oh, I'm not flexible enough. I'm out of shape. I can't." And I'm here to say that yes, you can, because if I can be on a podcast, anybody can do anything. But if it's not just yoga. Isn't about just the shapes. That's what we call the asanas. Is when what everybody thinks of as yoga. But yoga is also about slowing down, taking the time for yourself, taking the time to just really decompress. We are all going at 100 miles an hour.
Sure.
We're all so stressed all the time. And so that's why I'm trying to bring yoga again, hopefully to the community, more accessible and more affordable, because so many of us need it. And so many people are intimidated by going to a yoga studio, which I do understand. So I'm even, happy to do one-on-ones and help people get to a point where they're comfortable. And then if they want to go off and, do a group thing, that's
sure.
good. So,
yeah. Well, that's good. I just want to chime in on this, maybe unless we talk about it later with the teachers bringing.
Oh, whenever. Yeah,
do we talk about that later on?
Yeah, we can. Or we can talk about it now. I don't know.
Forget all the questions.
That's okay. That's all right. Well, you had mentioned that you were trying to make yoga a little bit more accessible and affordable, which I think everybody would benefit from.
Yes.
And you said you were working on something to do with teachers?
Yes, I have approached a couple of the principals, and I'm going to work on putting together right now. I'm working on a plan to reach out to the superintendent because I would like to bring yoga to our teachers.
That's great.
They are very stressed and overworked and don't get enough appreciation. There's so many careers that do, but for teachers, I feel that if I could bring it to them and make it one less step, because sometimes going home and then going back out, or having your life and then, will it happen? And making it just more affordable so that they can experience a way to decompress and move their bodies and do well for themselves, but also they can bring it into their classroom and then pass it on to our kids, because really our children should be getting this. So my plan is kind of like a program where it's more, do a little breath work, some movement, so you don't have to be, I'm not great at yoga, I don't know how to do this, I can't do that. Just make it be so they can almost come in, the most comfortable gear they have. They don't have to need fancy equipment, and then a little meditation. And so I'm hoping that works out. If not, I have, well, there's a plan. I'm figuring out something.
All right. So I guess this kind of ties into that, and that is community and impact. How does your business make a difference in the community or in your customers' lives?
Well, by bringing yoga to the community and to people, it just brings peace and serenity. I can help people reduce their stress and obviously, just feel better in their bodies. That's the ultimate goal. Yeah. Is feel better in your own body. And my goal is to meet you where you are at and make it accessible so that, you don't have to go in and think, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. I can meet you where you're at and help you from there.
It must be pretty rewarding for you, to see people go through those changes and kind of build confidence within themselves and all that.
Yeah. I have one client and just she had some forearm issues because of tennis, and just to see her be able to feel better, makes me feel better.
Yeah. So. Well, that's great. All right. This is sort of behind the scenes, and that is, what is one thing people don't see behind the scenes that makes your business work?
Ooh, all of the trainings that I do.
Okay.
All of the work that I'm doing. I love it. I'm not complaining. But yeah, there is a lot of, I'm in my 300-hour, I think I had mentioned, program, which I had found Dancing Becca's husband, the Yogi Matt, is the Chromatic founder of Chromatic Yoga, and I am working with him now. But I'm constantly at a workshop or working on some way to not only better myself as a person, but also better myself as a teacher that I can then pass along. And it's not just in a class. It's, you and I having a conversation, over a cup of coffee, and you bring up something, and, if there's a way I can help to make you look at it a little differently. That's all it is
Yeah.
trying to just help everybody do their best and feel their best.
I love that you're passionate about what you do. It's so refreshing when you see people that really actually love what they're doing, and I think it's really cool. So that for you, like some of this behind the scenes stuff, it's not really even work. It's fun. You're building yourself.
Yes.
And you're fulfilling your goals and your dreams too, which
Yeah.
I think is really neat.
The hardest part of probably, honestly, is the social media, which I'm sure
Yeah.
you know. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work, but
Yeah.
that's the way the world is if you want to get your information out there and help people understand. I mean, it's a great tool.
Sure.
It just takes it's a lot of late night. That's
So
when
what is the best way for people to support you? And what is one thing people could do today that could help you?
Well, obviously by following me on social media, Flow with Christine, Instagram, social, Facebook, maybe signing up on my webpage. I'm going to start a newsletter, but at least for now I can keep you updated on local workshops.
Sure.
And just reach out to me, DM me. I'd love to have a conversation if you just don't know where even to start. And again, I don't have any workshops lined up at the moment. I'm working on some dates for the spring, but I can set you up with many people online, depending on the time zone and everything.
Sure.
And you could practice in your own home for Inside Flow before you came and joined me in a workshop like that day.
Well, listen, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
It was very nice talking to you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. It's been fascinating to sort of learn about flow and how you do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. And just your wanting and desire to give back to the community. I think that's sort of what this is all about.
Yes, and I look forward to listening and learning more about other businesses in our community.
I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I'm excited. So now you know about cookies and baking.
I do.
We now
do.
know about flow and yoga. So we're off and running.
Wonderful.
So.
And we know a real estate agent.
Yes, and you know a real estate agent.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate
All right.
it.
Bye, guys.